Hello and welcome to the channel, it's Irad, and so in today's video I want to talk about Indiana Jones and the Great Circle because I've seen a lot of negativity around this title. It's definitely quite peculiar for this kind of game. It's definitely an adventure game, but it's quite different from the regular adventure games that you might think of, like Tomb Raider or more recently Uncharted. All these games have been third-person games, and that's how we are used to playing those adventure games at the third person, but this is going to be completely different because this brand new Indiana Jones is going to be a first person game, which is something that we have, I don't think, ever seen before in an adventure game. We've seen that, of course, in action games, shooter games, but this is not really what it is about. This is definitely stepping into the footsteps of Tomb Raider and Uncharted. Actually, it's even from the same developers of some of these older games who are now working with Machine Games. I've also been working I believe, with Wolfenstein as well. So quite different games than what we are normally used in first person. But here we go, guys. This is what it is. And that's something that we are also being told in the long gameplay reveal video, where we are being told that they want to be bringing this kind of game to a modern audience. Now, normally modern audience, what are we getting there? This is really something that's quite controversial. When we talk about modern audience, we think of, social justice and changing the established norms of, that's what we have in mind. And usually these, of course, have backfired and have failed spectacularly. When these companies are trying to do that, they lose a lot of money, and we've seen that time and time again. But I really believe that this time they are meaning something different here. I think when it comes to modern audience, they are really starting to think of trying to do new things with new technologies that perhaps in the past did not exist, which were making first person impossible. And that's really what we're talking about here, is bringing this game to the first person. They've been, for example, trying to really have a quite unique take on the whip, Indiana Jones whip here, which they have the whole whip technology for this game, where you'll be using it as the centerpiece of your equipment in Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, using it as a weapon, but also using it as a tool for traversal as well. Let's say you want to be climbing, or you want to be grabbing things or pulling things. That's also the whip that you'll be using, with really a lot of different animations that went into this particular tool, which is going to be used over and over again in this game. Now, the other thing that I'd like to mention as well when it comes to bringing this kind of genre into a modern audience is because, as I've mentioned a little bit before, right, with all of these other titles, especially Tomb Raider, the exploration or adventure genre has been around for a very long time in gaming PC, but as well as consoles. And a lot of these players are used to certain codes, as I said, playing in third person, but it has not necessarily appealed to other players who are more used to playing in first person game and who have not played these adventure games because they do not find the immersion that they're looking for when they are playing in third person. So by doing that, by choosing to use the first person as your main point of view in this game, you are going to attract another audience that would not necessarily attracted to these games, myself included. The last time I've played an adventure game like that was Tomb Raider 3 back in 1998, I believe, or 1999. It was around that time period, so it's been several decades I haven't played these kind of games, with the exception of Star Wars Survivor and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, but that's different. That's because it's Star Wars. But otherwise, I never play those kind of games because I don't like playing in third person. I like first person because I like to imagine that I am the character that I am playing as. And that's exactly, at least from the footage that we saw in the gameplay reveal, that's exactly the impression that this is going to be giving. And that is what I believe here is what they mean when they are going to try to attract a modern gaming audience with the technology and the methods that they are going to be putting on for this game. Now, another piece of criticism that sometimes I see around this game is that the first person is not adapted for every type of situation that you encounter, and the developers are really aware of that. They did talk about it in the gameplay reveal. We are not always going to be in first person. In fact, something that I do experience when I play Star Citizen, a game that is almost always in first person as well, is that sometimes when you have traversal puzzles or special sequences, like you're climbing a ladder, for example, well, the view in first person is not always the best. Sometimes it's shaky, it's like all over the place, and it's not really comfortable. Well, the developers at Machine Games have also figured this out, and that is why when you will be experiencing those kind of gameplay situations where you have to climb, say, a gutter or use your whip to climb on something, all of that will be done in the third person so that you are not going to be experiencing that discomfort. So again, that's why I think that the whole criticism on the fact that everything will be in first person has to be also discarded, because they are also aware of some of the issues that the first person is bringing. So there we go. This is what I think here the devs were meaning by bringing this kind of game or this kind of genre to a modern gaming audience. I don't think that it had to do anything with what we've been seeing in the entertainment industry over the past couple of years. And I do believe that this is a good thing, or at least they didn't show any of that. Maybe I could be entirely mistaken. And if I am, be assured that I will be the first one to talk about it right here on the channel. As far as I'm concerned, I'm really excited with what I saw here. I think that the fighting sequences look phenomenal. I cannot wait to be punching these bad guys in the face in the first person. I've always enjoyed fighting sequences and melee combat, and I think that this is done really right as well. And also, they are benefiting from years of experience with shooting sequences as well, with, of course, the iconic revolver. And I'm pretty sure that we're going to be seeing also other kinds of weapon fitting from that particular time period. So that's why I think that so far the criticism that we're seeing about the game being in first person, I don't think that it's validated at this point. I think that we need to wait and see how the game really plays so that we can see if that was indeed the right choice or not. But for me, at least, I think that it looks quite promising, and I think that haters so far are wrong to say that this game shouldn't be in first person. Let's wait and see, but so far so good, at least from my perspective. But let me know in the comment section down below, guys, how do you feel about this Indiana Jones games? How do you feel about adventure games being played in the first person? Do you think that this is perhaps the future of this kind of genre? Let me know everything in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this content, let me know in the comment section down below as well, or let me know with a thumbs up, and why not subscribe for more gaming content. I've been Irad, and I'll see you guys in the next one.